This is Brices Creek here at Creekside Park. What's up YouTube? I just got to the put-in. It's here at Creekside Park, or should I say the end of the road at Creekside Park, which dead ends into the beautiful Brices Creek. I'm going to put the camera around so we can take a look. All right, this is Brices Creek here at Creekside Park. And this little dock here is at the put-in, and it has a great little slot for your kayak to help you get in and out easier. It's a really long dock. It's been recently redone. It looks very good, very nice. And so the question is, when you get here, is if you're doing an out and back kayak, you have to decide which direction that you want to go. So you can either go to the left, which basically, if you paddle far enough, will take you to the end of Brices Creek. And as you go along this direction, the creek tends to get narrower and narrower until you eventually cannot paddle any further. I have not seen how far I could actually go on the kayak in that direction before. Maybe today will be the day, maybe it will not be. The other option is to go to the right. And if you go in this direction, the creek gets wider and wider and wider. And if you go far enough, you eventually end up in the Trent River. And then you could paddle down the Trent River all the way until you get to downtown New Bern. I have never paddled that far either. So I don't think today will be the day that I do that, but I think that today I'm actually going to go towards the left off of the dock. All right, check that out. This was so easy for getting in your kayak having this set up. Awesome. And off I go. Alright, so at this point I've made it pretty far up the creek, or what I would consider pretty far up the creek. I've passed some houses, some private docks, a boat ramp, and I'm just now getting into the area where there's a lot more nature versus people, and it's a lot more peaceful. And I want to say a few things about Brices Creek at this time. The first is that although it doesn't have a strong current, it's pretty windy today, and the wind has caused a little bit of difficulty with paddling and covering distance. And so that is one thing that I didn't really expect today, that I don't normally run into, because Brices Creek is normally a good creek to do an out and back because there's not a current and you're not just struggling one way and not paddling at all, going back the other way. All right, see how I'm moving a little bit? That's due to the wind. That is not due to the current. One of the things that I like about Brices Creek that's unique to Brices Creek when compared with other paddling areas in the New Bern area is that the water is not brown. It's almost more of a black color, and it provides a really sharp contrast with the bright green vegetation. And I almost wonder if that's one of the reasons that a lot of people are drawn to Brices Creek for kayaking, is because it is different. The Trent River and the Neuse River, they have a much lighter color tone to the water, and they more or less feel kind of the same. Whereas when you're on Brices Creek, it's a little bit different. It's almost like you're in some sort of tropical jungle. It's pretty cool. So when you talk about Brices Creek, you have to talk about the wildlife and the animals that live in this creek system and the surrounding wilderness, mainly because that's what people like to talk about when they talk about Brices Creek. And I'm not talking about the ducks and the turtles and the birds. I'm actually talking about the alligators and the snakes, because Brices Creek is loaded with snakes, and I hear that it's loaded with alligators. Now, I've only seen one alligator in my life in Brices Creek, but I hear they're out there. So if you get a chance, go down to the comment section and leave your favorite story about how you've seen an alligator in Brices Creek, and make sure you specify how big that it was and how many other alligators you saw the same day. Thanks. So at this point, I've gone about as far up the creek as I want to go, and I just kind of relaxed and sat still here for a while, and now I'm ready to paddle back to the dock. It'll be interesting to see how the wind affects the trip back, because the creek is very, very windy, so the wind is not consistent, and so I would think that it would be bad both ways. But the wind, when going up the creek, the wind was just working against me so much. I think that on the trip back, I'm going to have a much smoother ride, and hopefully will allow me to get better video, although I will be facing the sun, so we'll just have to see how it goes. Oh man, what's that up there? Could it be? Oh, I can't tell. That could be an alligator. Oh, is it? Is it? Nah, it's just a log. I knew I was just kidding around a little bit there, but in all seriousness, there really are actually alligators in here. I wasn't just trying to make a joke about it, but there truly are, and it really is pretty cool when you can see one. So this paddle back to the dock has just been absolutely phenomenal. The wind has died down, and the water is very still. The temperature is perfect. I am just really enjoying the nature and being out on Brices Creek, and this is what's great about Brices Creek, is just really being out in nature and getting to enjoy it, and just getting to be in the quiet and the peace. And it's just a great place to recharge from the busyness of life. All right, everyone, I'm just about back to the dock. This concludes this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button, and we will see you next time.